Today is Monday, May 7th, and the Fed is expected to not raise interest rates today. They obviously had a meeting yesterday. They're going to discuss the Fed funds rate today. They expect to keep it the same. Let's take a look at what it is now. So looking here, there's a 97.7% chance that the Fed funds rate stays the same of 4.25 to 4.5%. And the question is why? Why is Federal Powell maintaining or keeping the Fed funds rate where it's at, where a lot of people, including President Donald Trump, are deciding to say, hey, now it's time to lower the Fed funds rate? Well, the Fed has two jobs, okay? One is to maintain a high level of employment, which is the goal, and two is to keep a low level of inflation. So employment and inflation are the Fed's main job. And how do they accomplish this? Through interest rates. So let's just say there's not enough employment. Well, what do you need to stimulate employment? You need more money, more investment, because more investment can spur more jobs or growth, job growth building. So what they would do is lower the Fed funds rate, making money cheaper and more available to get, so people could take that money, invest more into businesses, create more jobs, etc. However, on the flip side of that, if you give too much money, then you create inflation. And obviously with inflation means prices of everything goes up, your money doesn't mean much, and the economy starts to crumble. So these are two very hard things to control. Too much money creates too much inflation. Not enough money creates not enough jobs. And the Fed's job is to balance both of those at the same time. So let's take a look at what happened. So last month for CPI inflation, you see that CPI came in at 2.4%. But core inflation, which is what matters more to the Fed, that came in at 2.8%. The Fed's ultimate goal is to have that number across the board at 2%. So with core being at 2.8%, people would say, oh, that's pretty close to the target. Not to mention, if we go to payroll that just came out for April, U.S. payroll job growth totals 177,000 in April, defying expectations. So it looks like we have good job growth and a relatively low inflation number at 2.8%, even though obviously they wanted at 2. So with job growth and inflation relatively low at 2.8%, not at the 2, but relatively trending that way, why doesn't the Fed say, okay, we've tackled this, now let's lower the Fed funds rate? Well, according to Mr. Powell, he says that tariffs, we don't know what's going on with tariffs yet. And he's afraid that the economy is going to take a huge dive because of the tariffs. So Mr. Powell is in a wait and see mode to see what will happen because of these tariffs that have just been imposed. And Mr. Powell is most definitely taking a hard look or paying attention to what is it, July 9th. July 9th is when the 90-day tariff pause, I guess you'd say, is over. So will we have negotiations with other countries? What do those negotiations look like? How many countries will we have tariff negotiations with? All this is up in the air. So President Trump is saying, hey, it's time to lower Fed funds rate now. And Mr. Powell is saying, wait a minute, we don't know what's going on, where we're at, how it's going to go, so I'm not doing anything. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Where things may lie, we don't know. Again, like I've said, we don't have an economics book to look at to say if this happens, then that will happen. I mean, you've never had a president go to war against the rest of the world with regards to tariffs. That's never happened. We've also never stopped illegal immigration at 95% or higher. To some people are saying 99%. That's never happened. And we also have never tried to bring back manufacturing back to America. That's never happened. It's always, hey, let's get this hard, ugly jobs out of here, and then let's go sit in nice, uncomfortable desks. So there's a ton of uncertainty. Nobody knows where it's going. And if you think you do, you don't. Not even the top guys actually know what's going to happen. The guys that are doing the negotiations don't even know what's going to happen. But if politics is your novella, stand back, because this year is going to be a hell of a plot twist.